So many individuals about the original sin in which Eve ate of the fruit. People are thinking, and then she introduces Adam. Many people have two different suggestions. One, it's an apple, and the second is a sex. Now, let me deal with the sex part. There's no way she could have had sex with herself and then come and introduce Adam to the sex, and then of course it can become a sin. Yeah, she probably could have masturbated, but that's not it really. It's not sex, because they were created to reproduce and to have sex and to procreate and so on. And they were created adults. They weren't children who had to wait and all the stuff. They were ready to roll at the beginning, but for some reason God inspired them not to go ahead with the family until years after. And so I guess they had to prove this test in the up front part, and had they passed the test, then they would have started had term, right then. Because if these kids were born probably before the fall, before they sinned, I don't know how it would have played out for their part. I guess our parents, in this case, dictate what sort of a experience we're gonna have. All right, we are born shaped in iniquity, and the original sin, it has befallen all of us. But if they're being born before the sin, that's something to ask Jesus. What would be in the situation? Now, the apple. I read recently where apple is a derivative from something they found in Asia, and they did a variety of sort of techniques and matured it to these variety of apples that we have here today. And so these apples are maybe 1,000 years old, but Adam and Eve, they sinned almost 6,000 years ago. And even if it were an apple, who knows the fruit that existed, because all trees were destroyed way back then. As a matter of fact, the Garden of Eden was taken out from earth and taken to heaven. So I don't think that fruit tree basically was able to propagate. I don't think it spread and so on, because the tree of life, had they eaten that tree after eating of the forbidden fruit, then in theory they would have been living on and on and on. But not really. I think God probably didn't want to break his own heart and the heart of the other worlds and so on, for them to become immortal and then have to die. Because, I mean, death had passed to them from eating the fruit. And if they'd gone and eaten the tree of life, then they would have potentially had eternal life. But Satan, who was created an angel, he has immortality. But yet he and all his hosts will be destroyed when Christ comes the second time. So the third time comes the second time, take the saints away and leave all the wicked here with Satan. And when he comes back after 1,000 years, then he's going to destroy Satan, so he could destroy eternal life. And so he could have destroyed them too. Basically, they were literal fruits, and it's not an apple, nor was it sex. It is simply it was a principle called stewardship. Just how we have 7 days and we rest on the tithe and so on, so the fruit situation also existed.